I get it. Scrolling through endless listings of smart electric fireplaces, you start to feel like you're picking a piece of decor blindfolded. The pictures look sleek, the Amazon ratings are sparkling, and the description promises a whisper-quiet heat source you can control with your voice. Then you wonder, will this actually give my living room that cozy, lived-in vibe without turning my space into a tech circus? That hesitation is exactly why I'm doing this deep dive, so you can avoid the disappointment of a fancy-looking insert that ends up feeling like a plastic prop. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Glenbrook package from Country Living isn't just an insert, it's a whole mantel ensemble. The cast stone river rock surround frames the unit, while a rustic oak mantel shelf sits on top, ready for a few family photos or a small plant. For anyone who has tried a freestanding electric fireplace that looks great on a wall but then feels out of place without a proper mantel, this all-in-one solution removes the guesswork. You don't have to hunt down a matching mantel separately, which often ends up costing extra and sometimes never quite matches the insert's style. Now, who will actually benefit from this setup? If you live in a moderate climate where you only need supplemental heat for chilly evenings, the 1500-watt output is more than enough to raise the temperature a few degrees in a standard 12 by 14-foot room. It's perfect for apartment dwellers who can't install a gas or wood-burning fireplace, as well as for renters who need a unit that plugs into a standard outlet and doesn't require any venting. The Alexa and Wi-Fi integration also makes it a natural fit for tech-savvy households that already have a smart home hub. Imagine coming home after work, saying, "Alexa, set the fireplace to 72 degrees, and walking into a gently warming, flickering scene without ever touching a wall switch." On the flip side, if you're looking for a primary heating source for a large, drafty house, you'll be disappointed. The 1500-watt rating is designed for supplemental warmth, not for replacing a furnace. Likewise, traditional fireplace enthusiasts who love the smell of burning wood and the sound of crackling logs may find the synthetic ember bed and realistic logs a little too polished. The visual effect is convincing from a distance, but up close the logs are clearly molded plastic. That's not a deal-breaker for most, but it's worth noting if you crave an authentic wood-burning atmosphere. Let's talk about day-to-day usability. The smart digital control panel on the front is straightforward. You can tap to adjust heat, change flame brightness, or set a timer. The real convenience kicks in when you pair it with the Country Living app or Alexa. I've seen homeowners set a schedule so the unit turns on an hour before they arrive home, ensuring the house feels warm the moment they walk through the door. For families with young children, the ability to set a maximum temperature and have the unit shut off automatically after a set period adds a layer of safety you don't get with traditional electric heaters. One practical strength that often gets overlooked in marketing copy is the low maintenance. Because there's no real fire, you never have to worry about ash cleanup or chimney sweeps. The ember bed can be wiped with a dry cloth if dust builds up, and the cast stone surround doesn't need sealing. That simplicity is a huge win for busy professionals who want ambience without the chores. However, there are a few trade-offs that become clear once you start using the unit. The unit's depth, including the built-in mantel, runs about 12 inches, so you need a wall cavity that can accommodate that thickness. In tighter spaces, you might have to recess the wall or choose a different model. The oak mantel shelf, while aesthetically pleasing, is not a load-bearing surface. Don't stack heavy books or a TV on it. It's designed for light core, and exceeding that limit could cause warping over time. Another hidden cost is the electricity usage. Even though 1,500 watts sounds modest, running the unit for several hours each night will add up on your utility bill. The smart timer helps mitigate this, but it's still something to factor in if you're budgeting tightly. The device does have an energy-saving mode that dims the flame while keeping the heat on low, which is a nice compromise for those who want the look without the full heat output. If you love the idea of a fireplace wall that you can control with a voice command, but you also need a realistic visual cue, the realistic logs and ember bed deliver a convincing effect when the flame is set to medium or high. In a darkened room, the glow looks authentic enough that guests rarely ask if it's a real fire. The digital control also lets you dim the flame to a subtle ember, which works well for movie nights when you want ambience without bright light. Who should skip this product? First, anyone who lives in a region with extremely cold winters and expects the